Sump Pump Insurance. Is it worth it or not? Yay or nay? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you because I am in the thick of dealing with an insurance claim after Hurricane, Tropical Storm, Tornado Ida hit my community. We had water damage because our sump pump failed due to power failure. We were out of power for 4 days, and even though we had a generator running, there was a period of time we shut it off to get some sleep, and in that time, our basement flooded. So I want to walk you through some insights on whether or not sump pump insurance is something that you want to add to your policy. So we have Geico Insurance. We've been with them for a few years, but before them and our previous company, we had started to pay for sump pump coverage. That means that any time that our sump pump had failed to run, either because the power was out or because the pump itself had died, that we would be covered for any damages that would result. So how much does this cost? Well, we pulled out our insurance receipts and found that what we have paid over probably the last 10 years for this policy was $47 a year. So the big question is, did that $470 payment pay off? Now, I want you to subscribe because I'm going to be tackling a lot more about this basement restoration project to come, but everything I do here at Hip Chicks is about giving you just the basic, solid, foundational information you need as a homeowner. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, but also make sure that you click the link to sign up for our newsletter, because in the newsletter, I go deeper into various topics. And when you sign up, you're going to get a copy of my 5 tips to save $500 or more on home repair. And that $500 you save on home repairs, you can put towards sump pump insurance. Just remember that flood coverage is usually not applicable when it comes to water from creeks or rivers. So unless you live in a floodplain, you might have special coverage. But for the most part, you are up the creek if your creek flows into your house. Now, this coverage I'm speaking of is specifically for groundwater that comes up over the basement slab, the sump pump fails, and your basement is flooded. So let's add up the damages that we had here in the basement. We're talking about roughly 800 square feet of carpet and pad that had to be ripped up and tossed. We have about 100 linear feet of beadboard with a chair rail and a baseboard that got damaged as the water worked its way up and caused buckling and discoloration. We had 4 closet doors that got damaged and buckled all along the bottom from the wet carpeting. And it is recommended that we have 2 feet of drywall removed from the entire area to make sure that there is no mold in the drywall that will continue to grow and spread. Then there's also the factor of the labor, not just the materials, but the labor. We're entitled to be compensated for the work we did in remediating and getting all of the carpet out within 24 hours of the flood so that we stopped any mold growth or further damage. So it's our labor, even though we did it ourselves. We're entitled to have our luxury vinyl plank put back down in part of our basement. I told the insurance company that we would be reusing the product, so we don't need a replacement fee for that. And the other part of the labor includes the tear out and replacement of all the beadboard plus painting of trim. Now, when you get a claim like this and you're given X amount of dollars for an itemized list of tasks, you can decide if you want to change your space and maybe you don't want to redo some of those things. The money is then yours and you can allocate it the way you want. I am opting to not put the beadboard back, and we're just going to be fixing the drywall and painting. So you'll have to see the changes that I make. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to walk you through this basement restoration project. We'll be talking about, drywall and shopping for carpet and all of that. Now, my private academy students will be getting an in-depth walkthrough in terms of reinstalling the LVP and actually applying the drywall and taping and spackling and painting and all of those nitty-gritties. So if you're interested in joining our academy, it's an exclusive program for homeowners that take you deep into the journey of ownership that'll save you money, stress, and time for years to come. So you can click above and you'll learn more about the Academy. So I know you're all dying to know, was this covered or was it not? So the total estimate for our basement repair came to $13,000. We have a $10,000 policy that came with this insurance rider. We have a $1,000 deductible. So we have been with Geico and it is underwritten by Stillwater Insurance. And I have to tell you, we are beyond thrilled. We've had no arguments, no need to bring in a public adjuster. We are being granted the full $10,000 coverage so that we can make the restorations in our basement. So I would say that our $470 investment over the last 10 years has truly paid off, as we are receiving a $10,000 check so we can get our house, the basement, back to the way it was. So it's time for you to decide, based on where you live, whether you have a sump pump or you don't. Do you have a finished basement or not? Is a sump pump insurance rider something that will work for you? So I hope that you will reach out to your insurance agent, have a frank conversation, and make the decision that works for your house. And I hope that you never have to use it. And if you do, I hope you get the coverage that we have gotten from Geico.